We've obviously added some new gay features to our wall. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have a story time for you.
Oh, what's new?
Honestly, I don't know. I feel like our life is kind of crazy.
My life? Kind of crazy.
Ever since I started dating this chick, my life's kind of crazy. We did make a video about a month or two ago called Our Long Distance Relationship. I'll link it up below.
Watch it, it's good.
And we were long distance for 7 months, like across the country long distance. Twice. We wanted to make a video talking about how we closed the distance because obviously now we're both living, thriving in Los Angeles, California. I kind of wanted to tell my side of the story a little bit on why I moved to Ohio for only 3 months before coming back to California because to give a little like background, last year I worked at Disney. I don't like how I'm explaining this. So
I'll just tell the story.
No. Just
last year, Julia left. She went to Disneyland. She played in Disneyland for literally 7 months. And then she got sad and she came home.
No, the story is I moved to California to be a part of the Disney College program for 7 months. And then I got a big girl job in Ohio so I could live with Marissa because that's where she was working and living. I moved there in August of last year and I had a real job and everything. We were having a lot of fun.
We did have a lot of fun. Here, you should put in all these cute pictures that we took. Here they all are.
Wow,
Here they
I love
are.
that one.
Wow, my favorite.
No, this one.
This one.
This one's the greatest.
Oh, it's so good.
Got so much editing for me too. There were problems, and I guess like we can kind of go through this a little bit. Stuff out of our control, like one of them being we never had a full day off together. My weekends were your typical Saturday, Sunday. Her weekends were...
They were all scattered, and that was just came with like the job that I was doing.
One of the big things was like we never had a full day off together. My job, even though it was a big girl job, and the entire time I was at Disney, I just dreamed of having like a desk and a 9 to 5. It was not your ideal job, but then again, like everyone's first job, you have to pay your dues. Like I was just trying to like...
Are you talking about Disney or are you talking about your first job in Cleveland?
First job.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just trying to like pull up my big girl pants and get through it. But I decided to apply to a couple places. I literally didn't think like anything of it. So this is kind of where things get a little rocky. What I would do a lot is I would look at like job applications to see what people were looking for. So I could be like, oh, people want someone who knows Google Analytics or whatever. Let me teach myself that. Like I just was trying to like build up my toolkit or whatever. As time went on, I started finding jobs that fit my description. I saw a couple, and especially this certain one, spoiler alert, I got, was at like my dream company. So I just shot my shot, didn't even really look at my resume and like spruce it up. Like I didn't overthink it is kind of what I'm getting at. And I just sent it out. Didn't think anything would happen. At most, I was like, oh, maybe I'll get an interview and I can like practice my interview skills again, because last year I probably had like 10 to 15 interviews. Most of them I knew I wasn't gonna get. It just helped me build that confidence, I guess, when having one. Do you want to talk about though like what our plan was? Because like California wasn't just like out of nowhere.
When people see this, they'll be like, wait, you bamboozled us. But like the plan was always to like hang in Cleveland for a little bit and then move.
And really the only reason we picked Cleveland was because like we both got jobs there pretty easily. Obviously LA is a very hard place to get a job in.
It is.
Especially when you're not already here. So it just felt like it was never going to happen. And a big thing too was like she had way more experience than I did. At this point of me applying, I had 3 months of like a real job experience. I really didn't think anything was gonna come of it, and I don't know, I just felt like I wanted to get ahead of the game because you had this like 8 or whatever months on me of job experience. I knew like you would get a job super quick.
She was wrong.
Let's fast forward, I guess, to like the night or the morning I got the email.
This chick literally gets this email after we spend 8 hours building a dresser. We obviously like rebought it, but like
basically Marissa and I fought a lot over a dresser trying to pick the right one, and we drove 2 hours to an IKEA to get this one because we loved it, whatever, and then we built it and it took forever. We literally didn't get done till midnight, and then the next morning I wake up and I see an email from the company saying, we want to interview you.
Yeah.
I didn't tell her I applied to anywhere because I genuinely did not think anything was gonna come of it. So how did that make you feel?
In like a dramatic way, it was like everything came to like a halt. My life was like smack. Like everything just like kind of stopped. And like I knew that like you were gonna get it. And not to sound like my girl, but like you're really talented, and like I don't mean to like shut up. You are really talented, so like I knew like it was gonna work out, and I knew that like things were about to like really change. And I was just like scared and really anxious because like you had just got there, like we were just settling in.
That's the thing too that's kind of funny, is like you already lived there and had it pretty set up. Because we never had a day off, it took forever for us to just even get the dresser like built.
Yeah.
Whereas like our apartment now, we're gonna have an apartment tour soon, is already done.
It's so cute.
I mean, like quarantine did kind of help with that because we have so much time to just build furniture. But I don't know, is it kind of weird to you like looking back? And sorry, like we're like daunting on this forever, but like I was dragging my feet on the dresser and I couldn't tell why, but like there was a reason why.
Do you think like, did you know?
No, we had talks about it, getting a new dresser way before like. But anyways, it is kind of weird to think back at that whole like situation, because our apartment in Cleveland was going to be, the lease was going to be up in February. Right now it's November 1st area when I got the interview call. We only really had 4 more months left there, and we had zero plan of like where we were going to live next, or if we were going to like sign another year-long lease. They're just like, I just couldn't see it. I was just like, I don't see us being here for a whole nother year. Like it's weird, like that feeling, but like I'm sure other people have almost felt this very being able to predict the future kind of feeling. So basically I got the job, and that was really hard because I knew you wanted to be happy for me, but at the same time like you are a human with feelings, and like you were sad that I was gonna be leaving yet again.
It felt kind of like a rag doll being like tossed around. And I just like kind of just went with whatever was happening. Like I've said like in past videos, like I would never stop you from like chasing your dreams, and you have also showed that you would never stop me from chasing my dreams. Part of it was like good that you got this job because it wedged like a foot in the door for like my turn. Once you had like got that job, like I have to get a job now.
You started going on beast mode of like applying. I get the job, I move out. I really had no game plan. My parents are super awesome, and it was the weekend of Thanksgiving, so it wasn't too like much of a strain on like being able to take off work. We drove across the country in 2 days non-stop. We didn't stop anywhere, and this is the 3rd time driving across the country in the year 2019. Very blessed for my parents. We stayed in a hotel the first couple nights of me having the job. Then I ended up staying with some of my Disney friends who got an apartment in Anaheim afterwards. But Anaheim, for those of you who don't know LA, is 2 hours away from the Santa Monica area, which is where my work is. Luckily, again, I have very good parents. While I was working, they would look for apartments for me, and they actually found the place where we live at now.
They did a good job.
It's in Long Beach, which is far from work, but that doesn't really matter right now because we're not driving to work. This place at first was just an air mattress. I think I have a video and I'll post it, but it's really sad. But like, don't judge, because the thing is like I moved in, and 5 days later I was flying home for like Christmas break for 2 weeks. I had no weekend here. I didn't have time to like buy anything or build anything.
Yeah, decorate.
And also too, it was just like, I love you, but when I moved to Cleveland, like I knew how hard it was, because like you had lived there for 7 months, and like I felt like I was moving into your apartment. I knew you would eventually move into this place, and I wanted it to feel like our place. We had to sell all of our furniture, like we said.
Oh, I wanted to tell that story. We did literally sell, well, I, being the businesswoman that I am, young entrepreneur of the year, can't you see my badge, sold all of our furniture. I literally like Facebook marketed everything, met a bunch of different people, sold every like big ticket item that I could,
so we could furnish
this was before like I even
knew that
I had a job. I was selling furniture because I was just like, well, one, I like had to like vacate my apartment by like the end of February.
You're also very fortunate because like if it came down to it, she needed somewhere else to stay past February. Like
I could have just stayed with my mom, which I did do like at the end.
Yeah, you weren't in like some random city all by yourself. So right now I'm kind of wanting to give advice for like people who want to make that leap, just moving across somewhere, because it's really scary to think about like just selling all your stuff. Like we sold nightstands and dressers that we had just bought, and obviously we took a little bit of an L like money wise, but it was worth it. It does suck like at first. It was worth it because now like we don't live somewhere where we have family, so we don't have hand-me-down furniture at all, which sucks in the way of like, yeah, we have to dish out a ton of money, but we also have the place how we want it to look. STALK.
It is literally like our dream place.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I know you want to make a video.
Yes, I do like want to tell my story, but like just to like catch you up to speed. Like I did get a job, just like you. I literally shot my shot. Like I literally did it on my phone, and I had been like rewriting cover letters, rewriting like my resume, and this one, it just like it came up and I said, wow, that sounds awesome. Shot it in, and like I heard back like the same day, and then like I went through the interview process. But I'm really lucky. So, but I'll tell that story another time.
Yeah, she's definitely gonna make one on her channel. I think we both want to make videos kind of talking about a little bit of our career paths, because they're definitely a little wacky.
Chaotic is the word I would use.
But we ended up with our dream jobs, and I think I was very emotional after graduating. It's really hard to know like what's out there when sometimes like you've only seen a certain like part of the world, but that's for more later. I want us to just talk about how everything's been now that we're together again. Like obviously it's kind of a little bit of a unique experience because as soon as we close the distance, we're now in quarantine, so we see each other 24/7.
Isolated. Yeah.
I know you're gonna talk more about this, but I just wanted to talk about like the actual when we closed the distance, like how was that? Because we had like some personal stuff going on the like last month of like long distance that made it kind of hard. Like I'm not gonna lie, like things got really hard.
It was just tense because like we were like obviously like I was looking for jobs, trying to like sell everything,
and I was getting to the part of my life where like I was settling into my job, so I was like starting to make friends. I was focusing a lot on my social life, I guess you could say.
We just weren't on like the same page, and it just like put a little bit of a strain on our relationship. But
yeah.
It wasn't like anything that we couldn't work through. We obviously did it, and like it was really exciting like being here. I think there was just a lot going on, but it was, I feel like you're making it out to be worse than it was, because it really wasn't that
I think
bad.
like part of me is like being long distance once before made it easier in a way because I knew
what to expect out of your crazy girlfriend.
No, I knew that like the outcome would be worth it. I knew like once it was all over it'd be worth it, because every time we're done being long distance, you're like, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
And I'm like, you didn't act like that. But at the same time, because it was the second time being long distance, it was definitely salt in the wound. Like you were very much like, how could you do this again? You definitely were allowed to feel that way. Like I took the L on that one. That's pretty much the story though of how we got to California. It's really just we shot our shot, and we really were one of those people you see that just drops everything, sells everything, shoves their car with as much stuff as they can, and moves across the country. And like it sounds so crazy when other people do it, but when you do it, even though it's fast, like you just, I don't know, you just roll with it. Closing the distance now, it is very weird because I was just saying like earlier today, I just feel like there's less stress over outside factors that we can't control. Like not gonna lie, when we were in Cleveland, like all I would think about every day is we're one day closer to like living the life we want to live, but now we're living the life we want to live, so like that stress is kind of gone. There's still stress obviously in other things, but
like Julia's dirty.
Let's ask this question. How's living in a studio apartment with me?
No comment. Actually, I really like the studio just because like it's honestly like a big studio.
It really is. I'm so excited for our house tour. We're almost there, trust me. That's like the one only really big difference is having a studio and to wake up like 2 hours earlier than me, and you're click-clacking or like in the bathroom and like I can hear you and you have to keep all the lights off for your first hour of work.
I feel like that's how like a lot of couples are probably going through that right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I just seen even out of quarantine, like you were only allowed to turn on the bathroom light.
Yeah, it's kind of horrible.
That's the story really of how we closed the distance, and she's gonna do a video talking a little bit more about her personal experience, just because this is like my second time moving to California, so it wasn't like a huge big deal in the way of like culture shock as it was for her. So go check out her channel. It will be linked below. Also my TikTok will be linked below, so go follow me on there. It's bumping. Hit 10K. Thank you for everyone too who came from TikTok to this channel. That also like means a lot to me because this channel is my baby. So thank you guys so much for subscribing, and I will see you guys next week because we're posting, baby. We're on that quarantine grind.
What else do we have to do?
See you guys later.
Bye guys.
Bye.